Hello, young farmers. Welcome to another episode of our podcast. Today, we're joined by a young gentleman by the name of Bongani, who runs a farm and a business called Maridili Brewery. So today, we're just going to be finding out a little bit more about his journey, what he does, and what he aspires to do in the future. Hi, Bongani. How are you?
I'm well, thanks, and yourself, Tuli. I hope you're doing wonderful on your side.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for asking. So let's just start by saying, for someone who doesn't know who Bongani is, what Maridili Brewery does, do you mind just giving us a little bit of a background on who you are and what your business is all about?
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Bongani Mahlangu. I'm 2 years of age. I am a young mixed production farmer and entrepreneur from Mpumalanga. I am the founder and CEO of Maridili Brewery, and also I am the founder and CEO of Maridili Cleaning and Supplies. My farming journey started at a very young age, of course, at my grandparents' farm, where I developed a passion for livestock, crop production, tractors, I would say agriculture as a whole, and today I mainly focus on cattle, goats, grains, and vegetable production, while also working towards the building a sustainable commercial farming of my business to actually own a bigger farm one day.
Lovely. So what does Maridili mean? Is that something special to you, or is it just a name that you came up with in order to, register and...
Maridili is very special to me because actually that's my clan's name. So the Mahlangus, if you look into the Ndebele clan, actually you will realize that we've got different types of Mahlangus. We've got a Mahlangu Sehla, Mahlangus Uhu, and then I am Mahlangu Maridili, right? So if you were to specify which Mahlangu I actually fall under, it's actually Maridili. Maridila Vandamasi, which is I took the first name and actually put it out there.
Lovely, lovely. So it's a very sentimental name and essentially like a legacy that you are continuing here.
Yes, indeed.
Nice. All right. So you dreamt about becoming a vet, right? At what point did the dream from wanting to be a doctor for animals change into wanting to breed, grow, and farm animals?
What happened was, I never actually loved farming because I already grew up at the farm. So I wanted to actually move out of the farm, right? So a quick brief on my background on what actually inspired me to actually go to farming. My love for farming actually began when, I was visiting my grandparents' farm. But when I was a little bit older, of course, not at a young age, when I started being in high school and everything, that's when I actually started having the passion and love for farming. Where did it come from? Farming actually chose me. I didn't choose it because of where farm, of course. But at a young age, going to the farm during the weekend school holidays, actually doing, daily realistic farming, chores actually sparked something in me in high school. And you know what, I can actually do this. Because my vision was to actually become a veterinary compared to actually being a pharmacist. So I wanted to become a vet because I had passion and love for animals, always does. And I always have actually had the love for them. But now, as time went by, I started to realize that, I can actually grow this passion of love for animals in terms of livestock, but now turn it into a business. And how do I turn it into a business? Of course, agribusiness then led me to agriculture, which is where actually everything started. and I started having passion, and the purpose actually was built there with the foundation of loving animals. So and also looking at it, farming is not a hobby to me; it's actually a business, and also it's a lifestyle that actually shaped me because of what we were living during the holidays, weekends. It's the lifestyle of doing the chores and everything that actually grew me to actually start being in this journey of farming, right? And also agriculture feeds people. So why not? Why not do it? Because we're feeding people, we are creating jobs, supporting communities, and also it changes lives. That is why I can't imagine myself doing anything else besides farming.
Nice. Very inspiring. Very cool as well how you pivoted from loving animals, but to still doing something in for the love and in love for animals. So that's super cool. So you mentioned that you basically have a mixed production model, right? So you do both crops as well as livestock. What challenges would you say you faced during this, time of building your livestock as well as feeding the nation, as you mentioned?
Hey, challenges. So in terms of the livestock, diseases will kill you. And if you don't have the heart and passion to actually pursue farming, you are going to lose it, you're going to leave it. So I'm just being honest with whoever that is going to be watching, whoever that is going to be inspired. Please, if you're going to do farming in terms of you are just doing it for the money and everything, I don't think that's a route to actually take, which is actually good, but that's not a route to actually take. Because now, what happens when you lose everything?
True.
Right?
And that does happen,
Yes, you get it. So you might plant, let's say, for instance, 5 hectares of spinach and you lose everything overnight. Then what happens?
Yeah.
You get it. So
Sure.
you need to actually tell yourself that you are not leaving this. You are going to do this. So in terms of the lives and everything on how do I actually go ahead with facing challenges and everything is I tell myself that, look, I've got mentors out there, I've got coaches out there, I've got people that are busy doing the same thing that I'm doing. The question is, how do I get to them to help me actually get through certain challenges? Because, of course, people that have been doing it before you were doing it have went through certain challenges. So you're able to just contact them, speak to them, which is I advise that whoever that is watching who's inspired, have a CMS. A CMS is a coach, mentor, sponsor, right? But sponsorship comes when you're mostly in the commercial side. What you can have is a CM right now, which is a coach and mentor. Those are the people that are going to guide you through steps when you are having difficulty in the business, when you are having challenges in the business. So I had a disease that was actually striking us not so long, and we didn't know what to do, right? But being able to contact people that are already in the industry, I was able to actually get a hold of the vet that actually helped them once upon a time and actually was able to come assist us. So it's, I think, mainly about connection on who are you connected to, who are you networking to, right? So don't just do farming just because you want to do everything yourself. There's a reason we've got networking sessions and everything. Have those. Those will help you to go through your challenges, because challenges, if you were to look at them from people that have already done it, it's easier, it's faster, it's stressless, and it's more efficient in terms of the business side.
Nice. So you touched on mentors and a coach. Is that something that you currently utilize? And if so, where did you find them? Did you just like maybe at a networking event ask them to be a coach or a mentor, or did you go through some sort of platform to have them, assist you?
Okay, just a brief on a quick. My mentor is actually Tabori Tabwe. But my coach is my grandfather and my uncle from the Mnguni side, from my mother's side, the ones that have been doing the farming. So, both my, I think maybe grandparents played a major role in inspiring me to actually becoming, a farmer. And also, Tabo Ditako, in 2019, I actually watched the episode of, African farming on YouTube. And then after that, I started researching about this guy. Who's this guy? How can I contact this guy? And then I ended up actually getting his numbers from Instagram, actually, and reached out to him. And he gave me his journey. And, for him to actually open up and actually give me his perspective on farming, on how he's done it. And then I told him, look, man, I want you to be my mentor. It was a little bit of a journey for me to actually convince him, of course, but it's a thing of he wanted to also see if I was really passionate. Because if you are really passionate, and then you are going to follow him up until he says yes. But if you're not, you're going to leave him. That means you're not also determined. You're not, consistent in terms of what you want to do. But I think he was testing me in terms of that. And once he saw that I was actually determined and consistent in terms of approaching him and asking him to be my mentor more often, he then agreed. And I actually asked him to write a letter for me. He wrote it. And then I put it there. And every day when I woke up, I knew that, okay, I've got my mentor who's Tabari Takwe, that I worked hard to actually beg him into my pocket for him to actually help me in terms of knowledge. And then on the coach's side, I think I was fortunate, growing up with these particular individuals that are already in agriculture.
Nice. No, that's super inspiring. And I think as a farmer, resilience and persistence are really the name of the game. If you don't have those, then it's going to be a tough journey.
Yeah.
So tell me, you currently farm on leased land, right?
Yes.
What challenges have you faced through obviously not owning land currently, as well as just being a young farmer in a very, not Black dominated industry? There's a lot of older people that are in the industry that have generational farms. What are the challenges that you've gone through?
Yes. In terms of the challenges on the leased land, I was fortunate to get the land actually on a lease from my family side, because I realized that I won't just get the land and then we don't have a contract signed. I'm not doing any type of payment in order for me to show books. Because the reason why, that's why I said I was fortunate enough to grow up with these particular individuals to actually coach me in life. So I asked for the piece of land at home that, look, I'm looking for this much land here. This is the location that I'm actually looking for. They were able to then say to me, look, man, if you want this, you have to lease it from us. Why are you leasing it from us?
Nice.
Because remember, your company is an entity alone as an individual. So you alone are your own separate person. That means we as family right now, we have to put aside everything that has to say family. And right now, the entities, Marokolo and Maritili, will then collaborate and then say, look, we are leasing this land to you, right? So I was able to get the land through there, of course. But the challenges that are faced of paying and everything is that in agriculture, when you pay land, it's not a monthly thing, it's an annual thing. Number one, you first have to make a profit, right? Your lease agreement has to then be a fixed. It depends on percentage per annual. Are you guys agreeing on a particular number per annual? That means if you make profit or loss, they don't care. They still need their money. What is it that you guys have agreed on in terms of the lease agreement? So that is a very, very, very serious topic. I would advise those that want to into the lease agreement that, look, rather give a person a percentage from your profit. Because if they tell you 200,000 per year and you didn't make that money, I would rather advise that give them a percentage of what you have made. If you've made a loss, they don't get anything. But if you've made a profit, they get something. So at the end of the day, it works both ways for both a person who is starting from the ground and a person who's leasing to you. So you guys are both on favorable sides.
Nice.
But I've actually spoken to people that have leased out, and the structure of leasing out there is actually cruel. It's not as it looks because they want to actually break the whole leg. You know, you try to give them just a little bit of your hand and they take the whole arm. So
But they
I
want
would say,
everything, yeah.
yes, you get it. So I would say to those who are inspired into going to farming and you are looking to communicate, know how much you will be making, where you will be making it from, in order for you to actually be able to sustain the lease agreement, because it's very, very important. The land itself is what will make you produce something. So the lease agreement is particularly the land itself. So it's the very foundation of everything. The good the foundation, that means the good the lease agreement, the better you are going to be able to form. Yes. So for those that are out there, I can't really give much in terms of the disagreement because I was fortunate enough. But I would say go out there, communicate better, favorable values for both of you guys, for your entity and the person who's listening to you. I think that's what I can say in terms of the lease agreement.
All right. Very interesting. And I'm like obviously glad for you that you, like you mentioned, you've been blessed enough to have family members that were already in the industry that could assist and also give you very sound advice, you know. In terms of expenses, right? How does your month to month look like when it comes to making sure that the farm stays afloat? Do you have any employees? If you do, everybody gets paid, you get paid. You know, what are we looking at? Plus, minus, you don't have to give me exact figures. You can give me a range, you can give me an approximation of how much it takes for you to keep everything afloat.
Okay. SARS. But okay, let's get on it. So, okay, so we are looking at least a year, 500 to 600,000 for expenses currently, because I'm not that big yet, so I don't have a lot of expenses yet. But we are looking at 500 to 600,000 expenses, and then profits. Yes, they are good. I would say they are very, very good, right? And
So
okay,
and no, continue.
Okay, I just wanted to say that for those that are out there, please don't underpay your people. It's not good on your books. Not good at all. Please, if you guys sign a contract, you know, honor the contract that you've signed, pay the person the amount that you've agreed on. Please.
Lovely. Okay, so if you mentioned that your expenses annually about 500 to 600, what are we looking at in terms of profits? Is it double? Is it triple? Is it quadruple?
I was running away from there. Okay, I would say double to triple.
Okay.
Double to triple, because mostly I would say it comes from a little bit of the crops and also the stud side. I'm a stud breeder also. I'm a bronze mara stud breeder.
Nice. So stud breeding means like breeding them from when they're babies.
Yes. You know, what it means is, okay, so a stud breeder is a person that deals with genetics, right? So we deal with genetic improvements each and every time in the head. So just to make an example, if this year I've got a certain bull that is mating with the cows, right? it's going to mate with the cows, but then the following year I'm taking it out and bringing a new bull. Why am I taking it out? Because I want the new bull to improve the genetics of the calves that will be ready as teenagers to then be fertile and everything, that are ready in terms of, okay, let me just put it like this. If I get a bull breeding with the cow, I need to take out the bull the following year after these ones have gave birth. Why am I doing that?
Okay.
I don't want to have the same genetics the following year again. So I want to improve my genetics. Right. And how do I do that? I have to do that with a different father, right? Because if you do that with a different father, it then changes your genetics in terms of that. And also, you don't want your bull to mate with their children, because if it's mating with their children, how are you improving your genetics? It's like saying you're drinking coffee from a full cup, and then when it's half, you just pour in water. How is it still coffee? It's not as dark. Right? True, so it's the same thing with genetics. So once you start having the father of the child, and now it's breeding with the child, it's not really improving anything. You're just breeding, and you don't want that. Right. And by being a good stud breeder, you need at least, your minimum should be 65%. You're not, if your cows are not breeding, if you're breeding and your cows are not giving birth at 65% of the head, and then you've got a problem. That means the genetics of the bull are not as strong. Look, don't be afraid to talk to vet people. There are animal science people, there are animal husbandry people. There's the vet. Take the sperm of the bull, go check it. Let them check it for you. Let them come back and tell you, look, are these great genetics, meaning superior genetics or inferior? If there are superior genetics, and then you're able to say, okay, no, breed the cow, right? You breed the cow with that, and then that's good. Take out the bull, bring in a new one in, like that. That's how you genetically improve your head. So yes, I work with genetics in terms of the stud breeding.
Lovely. That's super interesting, and a very, interesting part of agriculture that you focus on. Now, let's say someone wants to buy some of your crops or wants to buy some of your livestock, some of your breeds. Where do people reach you? How do people reach you? And give us all your contact details or your social media platforms as well, so that people can get in touch if we want to start supporting.
Oh, okay. In terms of a website, just to start off with that, I don't have a website currently. We are still working on that. Please be patient with us a little bit. And then also, if you look into Instagram, TikTok, and what is it called? Facebook, and the other one is Threads, if I'm not mistaken. We are Maribili Burdere, and my cleaning side is Maribili Cleaning and Supplies. So on the agricultural side, like I said, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, Facebook, we are Maribili Burdere. And my personal contacts that you can find me on is 079 561 2147. 079 147. And then my email address is maribiliprojects1@gmail.com.
Awesome. All right. And then in closing, what would you say to a young farmer that's watching this, that doesn't know where to start, doesn't really have any direction when it comes to their passion, but they know that they are super passionate about farming, they just currently don't have the means to farm? What are some words of encouragement that you would share with them?
Agriculture is one of the most important industries in the world because everyone depends on food. I live with this quote, you can need a doctor once or twice a year. You can need a lawyer once or twice a year. You can need an accountant, of course, 12 times a year, right? But the question becomes, How many times do you need a farmer in a day? You need them 3 times. Your
More than
your
3,
lunch,
yes.
your supper. So you need a person who's in agriculture 3 times a day. And that simply means everyone depends on food. And it often, offers more opportunities in farming because there's agribusiness, technology processing, technology and processing, logistics. Agriculture is so big. It's not just this, making food part. There's a lot you can do in agriculture. Agriculture actually has everything in it if you were to look at it alone, So I would advise someone that is young out there that, look, as young people, you should see agriculture as a business and a career with no limitation or limit in terms of potential.
Lovely. Wow, thank you so much for your time, Bongani. This was a very insightful and interesting conversation. We can't wait to see Maridili Brewery grow. Can't wait to see you expand on your land and grow the business, as well as continue inspiring people out there. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Just to close up for those that will be watching, start where you are, with what you have. Don't wait for perfect conditions. That will never work. That will never work. Learn continuously. If you're not willing to learn, improve, and learn from, actually make mistakes. If you're not willing to risk it, improve yourself and learn, you won't go anywhere in life. Everything that you have to do needs you to improve yourself, needs you to learn every day, which is why I'm saying learn continuously. Seek mentors. You're not dumb if you're asking for an advice.
Sure.
It's just you thinking out of the box and saying, look, I'm willing to learn from this particular person who's done it before. So seek mentors, work hard, stay patient. Patience is the key role of whatever that you are doing. Because I don't expect you to actually plant today and then harvest tomorrow. So if you plant today, you still have to wait for the harvest day. In between, you have to manage. So please stay patient and be willing to start small. Don't want to start big and everything, because if you are willing to start big and you don't know what you're doing, you will fall so hard to a point where you won't be able to just stand up. But if you start small, if you fall, you're able to pick up a little bit and say, look, I wasn't so far, man. I can, reach this again as fast. You get it? Now I know I can reach this on this level by doing this, by talking to this person, by going here. But if you start big, you don't even know how you got there, number one. So start small, guys. Agriculture runs consistently, and perseverance is, I think, the key to also making it out there. Have a wonderful one.
Thank you so much, Bongani. We appreciate those inspiring words, and hopefully that is life-changing for someone watching this today. But thank you very much for your time, and we'll definitely be in touch. We can't wait to see your business grow, expand, and reach amazing heights.
Thank you so much. You guys have a wonderful, blessed day ahead.